You're not smart enough. You're not working hard enough. You're never going to be good enough. You're not going to make it. You're not, you're not, you're not. But what about what I am? The language that we use sticks to everybody for whom we surround ourselves. The language that we use is what shapes the young people of America to either believe in themselves or to not believe in themselves. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will always shape me. Today I will be speaking to you about how the language that we use is shaping the leaders of tomorrow. Your little brothers, sisters, and children are being influenced by the words we use in our everyday language. But yet many people have no idea of the impact that their words can have on a child's future. In the America that we live in today, there are over 15 million children between the ages of infancy and 17 years old who are currently living in poverty. According to the National Center for Children in Poverty, over 42% of those children will one day grow up to continue the cycle of empty gas tanks, empty tables, and low levels of education, if something is not done. I believe that we can all agree that that is 42% too many of our nation's children. But as their role models, what are we truly doing to help? While donating to a food bank and giving to the homeless during the holidays are amazing gestures, what are we truly doing to change the adversity that has been engraved into the minds of America's youth? When I look back on my childhood, and I remember the number of times that I was told that I was not good enough, or that I would not reach my goals, or simply that I ran like a girl, or I swung like a girl, or I hit like a girl, I lose count. There is no reason that at the age of 6 years old, a child should question whether they are smart enough. There is no reason that an 11-year-old should question whether they are attractive enough. There is no reason that a 17-year-old should lose sleep at night worrying about whether they are going to get into the Ivy League that their parents always dreamed of, and fear that if they don't, that they will never amount to anything in this world. The line between pushing a student to do better and slowly degrading their worth is becoming so blurred in America that not even the victims can see the danger that it poses on their future. Now, we all know that adversity forms itself in numerous ways besides being born into a poverty-stricken household. Domestic violence, gang violence, alcoholism, neglect, divorced parents, bad neighborhoods, and the list goes on and on and on. According to the Do Something campaign, there are over 35 million children in America currently living in adverse situations. But how will they get out? How will they escape the chains that have been shackled to their lives? Well, I can tell you that if we as a society use our words to motivate and to push young people to do their best, that they will have the self-esteem to find themselves in the chaos that we see around us today. Now, when I was thinking about what I was going to deliver to you today, I began to ask myself how this topic could fit into the Rotary 4-Way test, which asks, is it the truth? Is it fair? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And is it beneficial to all? Yes, it is the truth. Not just because it's some inkling that we get when we speak to others, but because every 26 seconds in our nation, a student drops out of high school because they did not think that it was something that they could accomplish. Because somewhere along the way, someone made them feel that they were not worthy of a high school diploma. Someone told them that they were not good enough. Now, we have to ask ourselves, is it fair? Yes, it is fair to change the language that we use in order to give a child a better future, a chance at a life that they once could never imagine. Yes, it is fair for all people within this nation to tell that 11-year-old who worries of her attractiveness that she is kind, she is inquisitive, and she is worthy. Yes, it is fair for all people to tell that 17-year-old that not getting into that Ivy League will not ruin them, because it is their grit and their work ethic that will one day land them their dream job. Now we have to ask ourselves, will it build goodwill and better friendships? Yes, because for once all children within this nation will know and believe that they can do it. For once we will have built a generation on the basis of love instead of hatred. For once in many years, a generation will feel unified by the common use of the language that we speak. And last, but certainly not least, let us ask ourselves, is it beneficial to all? Yes. There is no doubt in my mind when we as a nation bring forth our power in the form of encouragement, words of affirmation, and a deep love towards those who will one day lead this world, that there will be a positive revolution that will resonate with generations to come. Because as we pass the torch to our younger generations, they will feel prepared to show love to the generations that will follow them. Because in this world, what we give to one individual will be passed on and on and on. And one day, we can sit back and say that our words, our actions, and our love created a power that can never be destroyed. I am a 17-year-old high school student. My father was incarcerated when I was 3 years old, and my family has lived in poverty ever since. I have seen empty gas tanks, empty tables, and low levels of education. I have been homeless. I have seen violence. I have seen mental illness and alcoholism. And I will become a high school graduate. And I will be only the second in my family to obtain a degree. And I am a living example of what can happen when a child is given the outlet of motivation and love to know that they are worthy, that they are good enough, and that they possess the power to change the world. Thank you.